Attorney General did a grave disservice to the country by misrepresenting significant parts of the Mueller report, by attempting to put a positive spin for the president on the special counsel's findings. The Attorney General is not the president's personal lawyer, although he may feel he is. He is supposed to be the highest law enforcement officer in the land, and he is supposed to represent the interests of the American people. But when the Attorney General gives the perception that the president fully cooperated in the investigation when he didn't, that they provided all the information materials when they didn't, when the president in fact deprived the special counsel of perhaps the single most important piece of evidence, that is his own verbal testimony, that misleads the American people. When the Attorney General represents on the obstruction case or suggests that the special counsel desired him to make that decision, that the special counsel wasn't mindful of the Office of Legal Counsel opinion that a special counsel cannot indict a sitting president, when the Attorney General mischaracterizes the report in that way, he does a disservice to the country.
This is House Intelligence Committee Chairman Adam Schiff cutting through the obvious lies that the White House is so desperately trying to make stick amid the release of the Mueller report. And Schiff couldn't be more clear. While Attorney General Bill Barr held a press conference today for the sole purpose of spinning one last time the contents of the report so they would seem more favorable for Trump, his conduct was as disgraceful as it was deceitful. First of all, Bill Barr is not supposed to be acting in the capacity of Trump's personal lawyer. He's supposed to be acting on behalf of the American people. But the discrepancies between his 4-page summary and the actual report, as well as his cheerleading session press conference, were evidence that his sole objective as Attorney General is to protect Trump. Just look at this sentence alone from Barr's 4-page summary. While the report does not conclude that the president committed a crime, it also does not exonerate him. While that sentence is the most damning in Barr's summary, it was tepid at best. But with the release of the Mueller report, here's the full paragraph preceding that sentence. If we had confidence after a thorough investigation of the facts that the president clearly did not commit obstruction of justice, we would so state. Based on the facts and the applicable legal standards, we are unable to reach that judgment. Accordingly, while this report does not conclude that the president committed a crime, it also does not exonerate him. Bit different, huh? In other words, Barr cherry-picked sentences to purposefully obfuscate the findings of this investigation. But beyond that, the lies continued. As Schiff mentioned, Barr tried to suggest that Trump fully cooperated with the investigation. He didn't. In fact, not only did he refuse an interview with the special counsel, but he spent years attacking the special counsel over Twitter and even dangled pardons for his associates caught up in the probe. If that's cooperating, what does he think not cooperating is? Setting fire to Mueller's office? But worst of all, Barr suggested that Mueller wanted him to make the final decision regarding obstruction of justice, and that, surprise, surprise, he didn't think it quite fit, so that's it. Trump's innocent. Here's his quote. Barr was asked by a reporter, "Did the special counsel indicate that he wanted you to make the decision or that it should be left for Congress?" To which Barr responded, "Well, special counsel Mueller did not indicate that his purpose was to leave the decision to Congress. Only that's not at all the case. Mueller's report shows that he specifically intended for Congress, not the Attorney General, to make the final decision with regard to obstruction. He wrote explicitly, with respect to whether the president can be found to have obstructed, we concluded that Congress has authority to prohibit a president's corrupt use of his authority in order to protect the integrity of the administration of justice. The conclusion that Congress may apply the obstruction laws to the president's corrupt exercise of the powers of office accords with our constitutional system of checks and balances and the principle that no person is above the law." In other words, Barr lied. The proof is right there, plain as day, in the report. Now, Barr capitalized on the conclusion that Mueller himself could not unilaterally indict Trump. But to say that the fact that Mueller couldn't indict the president means he's innocent is drawing a false conclusion. Under DOJ guidelines, a special counselor cannot indict a sitting president. So Mueller specifically granted Congress the ability to make that determination. And this isn't a new process. Nixon and Clinton were both investigated by a special or independent counselor, and the information in their reports was then given to Congress, which made the determination to move forward with impeachment proceedings. So all of these Trump sycophants crowing about how this is somehow a win because Mueller didn't indict Trump are acting in bad faith, and they know that. Let me be clear, Mueller was not going to indict Trump. Him not doing something he was never going to do is in no way vindication for the president. This report was always intended for use by Congress. With that said, this administration has proven that it will go to any length. They will twist and omit and parse words. They will outright lie to protect themselves. Barr's conduct between his summary and press conference is disgraceful and easily grounds for impeachment or censure. And more importantly, as we now know, Congress has the right, the duty, as conferred by the special counsel, to consider impeachment proceedings against the President of the United States.